one point garnering 70,000 organic Google searches a month on top of the feverishly viral social media activity. My analysis of this response suggests a sociological component to the case that involves analysis of pathology, conspiracy theories, identity, and the desire for meaning in the internet age. Elisa's story also has ramifications for criminal justice and the burgeoning web sleuth movement. My methodology throughout this journey has been simple but painstaking. I only formed conclusions based on facts or the debunking of falsehoods. I avoided confirmation bias in support of my hypotheses and continually revised these hypotheses after faithfully following the trail of facts and evidence. I let analysis of the facts lead the narrative, and not the other way around. I aimed for transparency where possible, though several of my sources requested to remain anonymous out of fear of retribution, and I used primary materials as much as possible. On a logistical note, the Cecil Hotel is referenced hundreds of times in the book. Though the hotel was renamed Stay on Main earlier this decade, I decided to stick with its original name to avoid confusion. I plan to use a portion of the proceeds earned from this book for donations to the Lam family, as well as to several cutting-edge mental health research and advocacy groups. Part 1. Discovery. That's the thing about potential. It was so close. What could have been but didn't happen and will never happen. The events did not line up perfectly, and it breaks your heart. Fear of death is very silly to me. I am reassured that death is something that all things before me and all things after me will go through. When it comes, I will know what it is. I just hope for a chance to say my goodbyes. I am more scared of going before my time, without having lived a full and meaningful life. Elisa Lam. Chapter 1. Missing. On a sunny, warm winter day in Los Angeles, during one of the most historic and tumultuous weeks in LAPD history, detectives ushered a grieving family before a hungry press corps that had assembled at the downtown precinct. 6 days earlier, a Chinese-Canadian student, Elisa Lam, vanished from the Cecil Hotel while vacationing alone. The police had since searched the building twice and canvassed the neighborhood. Now, they beseeched anyone who might have pertinent information to come forward. Shortly after this press conference, though, the LAPD cut off the flow of all incoming and outgoing information regarding the case. Looking back years later, their plea for a synergistic relationship between law enforcement and the citizenry carries an ironic, disingenuous tone. Detective Walter Teague of the Robbery and Homicides Division, looking appropriately grave, led the press conference, the ostensible purpose of which was to enlist the public's help in finding the 21-year-old Elisa. A posterized photograph erected next to the podium featured her in autumn colors, flashing in a ebullient smile, cascading obsidian hair swept over one shoulder, her eyes gazing out from behind thick-rimmed glasses. With an anxious and unsettled air, Teague outlined what the police knew so far. Elisa was last seen on January 31st, 2013. She had verbally checked in with her parents every day while on her solo West Coast tour of California. But on February 1st, she didn't call. And they hadn't heard from her since. Nor had anyone. No texts. No calls. All communication, including Elisa's prolific social media posts and blog entries, had abruptly ceased. Her parents reported her missing and flew with their eldest daughter from Vancouver, Canada, to Los Angeles to assist with the search. Flanking Teague, the family looked ashen and devastated, their body language melting downward in the panicked countenance of loved ones who know something has gone horribly wrong. The day before the press conference, on the 6th of February, the LAPD had posted flyers around the neighborhood. Lam is described as an Asian woman of Chinese descent, the flyer stated.